Hi guys, and welcome to the Urban Angel Spiritual Medium and Psychic page of yours truly, Rick Paul. Jumped on to record this just before I go on to stage tonight and put on my spiritual medium and psychic hat. I just thought while I'm in here, I've had a shave, I've shaved my head. I'm all ready to go. Spirit energy's buzzing, and I always look about where I can apply myself and bring in any little nuggets of wisdom. So I thought I'd do another video, come on to say thank you very much for all of the support. Where I've now gone from those small numbers now up to treble figures. I'm really, really grateful. So I've come on here, and it's been in a place of gratitude with this as well. So when I read these chapters from this book, this all came from a very good friend of mine, Mr. Ian Timothy. And Mr. Ian Timothy runs Lysian Events. So when Lysian Events are mentioned, as I do shows in, I think it's 6 different times now that I work for Lysian Events during the course of a year. We're going from Newcastle down to Stafford and events around Lincoln, Newark. And it's just an absolutely fabulous experience that I've had. You know, I'm now part of the setup crew with putting these events together, where I do the physical labour. And I always want to give credit to those that have helped me. Ian has been a massive source of inspiration. The Lysian Events News website is always a fantastic place to go and look at as well other people's spiritual perspectives. This is also done in conjunction with the wonderful Paul, who's from the Fitness Hutch, who's inspired me daily to keep coming on here and keep plugging away. I am not the most comfortable with tech, but I'm finding my way around being in front of a camera, and I absolutely love it. I want to be honest with you guys as well with this. So when I do put on that I'm advertising a chapter from a book, I don't care whether it sells another copy or not. I really don't. What this is all about is helping promote self-empowerment, self-awareness, and also realizing that people who've got eclectic thought processes or things there where they don't process as quick as the outside world, I am one of them. And I always like to sort of put myself up there and say, well, if I can do it, just take little bits of my journey and hopefully apply it to yours and put your own unique skills and talents together. And then you will find your own way. And that's what it's about, promotion of the self. And this book here took nearly 3 years to put together. It's pamphlet size, right, guys? It's about 100 pages, but it's inspiring thoughts. It's the way that my thought processes go. And it's always brought about when I go out for a walk with my dogs. Standing in nature just promotes that clear, free thinking. And the idea with putting all of these on was to just share some of those thoughts. So today's one is called Integrity. This one came about when I was challenged doing a live where somebody was basically saying I was a fraud. And that was making things up, and I was trying to get money off people and all of this sort of things. Me, being sensitive, took it personally. So rather than go on there and go for even a tit for tat war with somebody, I just thought I'm just not going to do that. But I am going to get my thoughts down on paper because that helps clears my head. So this one is called Integrity. If I mention anything before, I will tell you whether I wrote it or whether it was done as part of the edit. So this part of this is called Integrity, and the first part of it was written by the man who's helped me collate this book. So Rick has a brilliant stage presence and is building an enviable reputation for his work. His articles have been read over 9,000 times on Lysian Events News. There is no doubt in our minds Mr. Rick Paul is achieving his goals. His long-term future is bright and secure. And this is me. I have recently read about the build-up to the shows that I attend and how to promote yourself actively. The good thing is that we have Lysian Events News to use as a platform. And this is my submission. And the article will address a few things and hopefully provide some insight into my work and how I build up to these excellent shows that I attend. This is the 2nd year of being promoted by Lysian Events, and I have loved every show that I've attended. The opportunity to advance and promote myself has been freely offered to me by Liz and Ian. and fellow community members, this has been enthusiastically taken up, and I would encourage all who wish to find success to look at why Listening Events work in the way that they do and offer the ways of promotion that they do. No one tells you what to do. Everything needed for visitor awareness is there for you to take advantage of. I would predict that this organisation will grow on the internet and social platform visibility, and I will use every pixel of what is available for that promotion. From my perspective, I am open and honest with what I want to achieve and how I work. So this article is a platform to reiterate what I do and how I desire to contribute to other people's well-being. I'm happy to promote and share other people's stories and work to help community members progress and succeed. I follow the Lizziean ethos of sharing is caring. And as Ian has written in previous articles, this isn't just a one-day-a-week thing. The Lizziean Events Wellbeing shows needs active and consistent promotion and participation by community members for all of the people that are involved in it to benefit. Remember, in life, everything we nourish will grow and bear fruit. And this brings me on to the musings. I am a regular contributor to these pages. Writing articles, commenting on forums, and sharing other articles is essential to me. I'm an open book, and I consider I am following an ever-evolving spiritual learning path. We all know this journey has its highs and lows, celebrations and disappointments. This is the way that we become strong and able to enjoy our experiences, whether good or bad. Recently, my integrity was criticised. All are welcome to critique my work, but never question my integrity. I work with the highest of morals and honest ethics. An individual questioned how I work and what I do. I hasten to add that this was not at a Lizziean event. So I thought I would take the opportunity to give the reader an insight into my mind on the build-up to the shows and beyond. The main reason I attend each show is to help people. It is also fair to earn money and continue with my work. It is all very important to cover overheads, but massive profits is not the priority. Between shows, I spend an immense amount of time thinking about improving myself and my connection to the spirit world, which then will help me help others. My spiritual persona is the one who arrives at the show in the noisy waistcoats. He is the part of me that does not worry. He follows the purpose of the weekend. Now, I've written many words in previous articles about separating my persona to go on the platform or appear at shows while maintaining a full-time job. The more shows I attend, the more I realise how vital each part of the psyche is. The stronger the realisation, the closer to uniting them that I come. When I arrive at the venue and the analytical me sets up the table, the spiritual me is inviting spirit to draw closer for the readings, talks or platform work, and this is when he will do the introductions. Nerves and excitement play a big part in my appearances. My analytical side takes to the floor in the talk room and explains that spiritual me does not have an ego. However, the waistcoat does, and it thrives on the energies generated by the people present. I then explain that I do not guarantee to have a message for every person, and the messages are given, and I cannot interpret or expand upon the words or symbols which spirit give me. Allow me to expand. During talks, I'll provide insight into my journey so far, and after a short while, the spiritual me and the energies draw my attention because it's time to stop working so analytically. I gracefully take a step back and allow the energies to come through, and then the messages can be given. I give exactly what is received. However, people have their own perceptions and expectations of what they want to hear, and sometimes reject the message because they don't want to listen to the message or they're not ready for that piece of information. People are swift to give labels to individuals and situations. People can also get hung up on whether you are a medium or a psychic and where the information is coming from. The answer for me that is quite simple. I just trust spirit and the energies, and what they are telling me is not a process that spiritual me needs to take to pieces. That's the other guy's job. I find the 90+% of feedback that I receive is positive. Still, like everything, you will get the people who won't like you or get you and have an animosity towards you. They won't like you psychically reading them, or the mediumistic side of what you've given isn't quite right. I will address this by saying that I start all of my work by asking for the person's higher and greater good. And always want to highlight how unique the individual is and help them to become a well-being and hopefully take that step towards self-enlightenment. I do not really know what I do. I don't know whether I am a psychic, a medium, or any other such label. I only know I work with the highest intent. I work intuitively and I give exactly what I get. And I'm passionate about what I do. I will not make things fit to suit a person's needs, which is not my decision to make. I'm empathic and my spirit guides work with me to help people process what is going on around them. I read cards with my own method, and I also believe angels link with me to bring in healing in my words. Please know that if a client's healing is the essential part of the connection when I work, when and if spirit come through with a message, that is a privilege and a bonus. Analytical me will sometimes hint that I was lucky. And where did that come from? Well, where did it come from? The answer's easy for me. Spirit. And the first part, if luck, then I'm on one hell of a run, and long may it continue. If my words help spark a change or inspire, then I am indeed a lucky man. Those few critics or skeptics are entitled to think what they like, but I am steadfast in my belief that my intentions are for the highest and greatest good. And I want the best for my clients and those that I work with, and know that I work from the heart. My build up to the events is like a kid waiting for Christmas. I feel the energy starting to swirl. I ask for the most reliable connections I can get, while analytical me is advising about the practicalities that needed to be sorted to get me to the event. Preparing is not just the weekend, but answering emails, answering feedback, thinking how I can better attain better feedback and results than the last one. Learning from peers, absorbing the energies, while keeping the ego at bay. It takes some balancing, but I know this, I love doing it. I'm always happy to talk to anybody about my spirituality and hope that I will see you at an event or a reading soon. To the supporter or the critic, I thank you. You are my sources of inspiration. To the fan, the critic guides me to consider that there are things to change or look at. Feedback keeps me grounded. I conclude with these thoughts. I am not a label. I am what I am. I do what I do. I'm just me. So that was written in 2019. I'd sort of like been coasting along and then just got hit with this critic who questioned my integrity when I was working with people. And I felt the need to explain myself. 3 or 4 years later, I no longer do that. I don't feel the need to explain myself about anything. If you buy a reading off me, if you interact with me, if you come on my lives, I'm very, very grateful. I give what I get without any sort of papering over anything. It is literally, as I perceive it, that's what I give. I'm not concerned, truthfully, not concerned whether anybody thinks I'm any good or not, because for me, that is an ego-based practice. I'm on this journey to help people evolve and see the best part of themselves. I want people to find their confidence. I want people to embrace that eclectic part of themselves. So now what I learned, and I think the clicking point for me was at 50 years of age, is that I don't want to and don't feel the need to explain my methodology and justify my existence. Yes, I will have days where I lack confidence. Yes, I will have days where I take a little bit of a dip. But I remember what I started all of this for, and that's what keeps me going. So anybody who's watching this and has got this far, thank you very much for keeping there. The whole idea behind starting all of this channel is to get people in a place where they can step into their true being. So I wrote in that article about having the various sides of me. That is now no longer the case. All sides of me is quite neatly summed up is I am I. So you get all parts of me when I'm engaging, whether it's socially, whether it's on the internet, whether it's at shows, or whether it's that stage performance. All parts of my psyche involve me. I am in charge. I will take my knocks. I will take my criticisms, and I will also take the plaudits. And I will always think, okay, I'll take them on board. What's next? How do we evolve? How do we move on? And how do we keep this eclectic journey again? So, as I always do with this, it's not the perfect production. There will be slips in the vocabulary. There will be little knocks there with things there that I will hopefully iron out over time. But I've done this to keep it real. You might hear my little dog barking in the background, but she's part of my life. She's part of my psyche. So rather than trying to rub that out and put across that I'm this perfect guy that's sat in this wonderful environment, you get me. And as the end of that chapter said, I am what I am. I do what I do. I am just me. Thank you for listening, guys. Much appreciated.